Hey Scorpio, it's Amanda Beach with the Cosmic Beach Consulting, and here's your Cosmic Surf Report for July 2016. Opening up in the first week of July, we see a real emphasis on emotional relationships, particularly the team sector of your relationship area. So when we're looking at this, we're looking at how we work with other people, how other people work with us, how we can best benefit the people that we're working with, and how the people that we're working with can best benefit us. This also has some more emotional undertones to it. This might be a more personal versus business kind of teamwork or partnership. It could relate to a passion project. It could just be within your own family. Maybe you're trying to get your kids to clean up before everyone comes over to invade your space for the 4th of July. The new moon's in Cancer on the 4th of July, and Cancer, of course, rules home and family, so all of us will be certainly enjoying that holiday to the most sentimental levels. It's also with the Venus in Cancer, it's going to be great for those who are looking for some fireworks romantically. But for you, I kind of get the sense that this is more about friendship and relationships as opposed to romantic endeavors. Because everything that's going to be busy in the bedroom, we're looking at in this second week of July. So the second week of July, I get a little warning for you, Scorpio. I wonder if we need to watch our excesses. Perhaps we need to make sure that we're not sticking around for that 4th or 5th drink or the 3rd. We could also kind of look at the chains that we're wearing in life. Like what's weighing us down? What are we tied to? What are we unnecessarily tied to? What are we tied to because we're not motivated to get rid of it? This could also kind of talk about if you're looking to break a habit. This might be a week to really start to analyze that. If you're a smoker, or if there's like a food you were looking at giving up, maybe some people like to cut out sugar in the summer because of the heat. This is definitely going to be a week where you're examining your vices, whatever your vices are, whatever that means to you. And for you, that could be some real deep down subconscious Scorpio stuff. So, and then also kind of looking at the chains that you expect others to wear as well. That could be another side of this week, is really kind of examining, like, am I expecting too much out of people? Am I expecting so much out of people that it's actually kind of damaging for them? Really looking at those boundaries when it comes to taking the most from the most important part of people. So we've also been under a Mars retrograde for a while, and Mars finally went direct on June 29th. Hooray! And a cause of the Mars retrograde is that it has caused all of us to kind of feel like we're getting a little stuck, or a little like a drain on the energy. It's sluggish, it's hard, it's, the momentum is like moving backwards, and we're having, like even getting our vision, like clear has been super hard. Like clarity is hard to come by. Energy is hard to come by. Progress is hard to come by. So the 3rd week of July, we have a beautiful Capricorn full moon. Of course, Saturn and Capricorn love, they're buddies, and Saturn is the teacher of hard lessons. So if there are some things that you have been trying to find solutions to, trying to find methods for, this is really going to be a week of breakthroughs for that, moving on from that kind of self-destructive second week into this week where it's really time for you to reclaim your powers and look at your ideas and really think about how they're going to serve you, how you're going to climb this mountain, and what your view is going to look like when you're done. Also for you, we do see you kind of starting to put some plans in motion. So maybe there's a project that you were thinking, oh, in February, like, you were kind of like, it was like a baby, it was like an infant, it was like an idea. And, now you kind of like, you sat there and like, maybe you've taken some time off from it, or maybe you've kind of delayed launching it. Maybe you've experienced some self-forgiveness where you're like, hey, it's not always going to be on my time, so I'm going to take some break from, take a break from this and be very nice to myself about that. And when I get back to it, I get back to it. So we're looking at, the 3rd week, and we're really seeing you kind of wanting to get up that hill, wanting to make those plans. And then we look into the 4th week of July, and we really still see you with like this very young and passionate energy, but you're also looking at like, what is this garden going to look like when it grows? I'm going to water this, I'm going to give it sunlight, I'm going to spend all this time with it, I'm going to weed it, I'm going to go to the store and like get more plants for it. But what am I growing here? So the last 2 weeks of July really ask you, like, what do you want? What do you want to harvest by winter? What do you want to see in December? So I want you to sit down and really sit there in your heart of hearts. If you could wave your magic wand, what would your December look like? What can you do with your July to make your December look the way that you want it to? And this might be quitting smoking. This might be, there might be another time-consuming habit that you have, and realigning how you're using your time. And that can also do with people. I don't get as much about relationships in the second part of the month as I do in the first part of the month for you, but that could also be a clarifier for you're like, oh, I have all this noise in my social sector, which I don't necessarily expect that shit out of you, Scorpio, because nobody can say like, no thanks, like a Scorpio. But, but but if you do have some of those relationships that are kind of like entrenching and you need to clean out some house so you have some room for other things to come into your life, that is totally acceptable and something I could certainly see for you. And with that Capricorn full moon, maybe we're also looking at work. Maybe we're looking at like how we're going to address our work. Maybe there's a promotion that's not available yet, but you want to gun for. Maybe there's a certain income bracket that you'd like to break. Maybe there's just a better job out there for you. Maybe there's just the dream of having a boss who isn't an asshole. Those are all valid things. Like, not all of us are made to be Mark Zuckerberg. I'm certainly not. Hi, this is my bedroom. IKEA. But seriously, like not everybody has to do that, whatever work means to you. But I definitely see the second part of the month really being something where you're like, all right, I'm going to pick some work and I'm going to do it. And I think that you'll be aided by the momentum of Mars coming out of its murky space. Now, it's still first, second gear for the entire month of July. It's not out of the shadow period until August. However, it's going to feel leagues and levels faster and better than it did throughout June and May. So overall for you, Scorpio, I would decide to kind of look at what you're keeping hidden, what you're putting into the things that you want to grow, what you want out of your December, what you can do in the here and now to kind of focus on the things that you would like in like the next 6 months, what ideas you need to get behind for sure. Like what little things have been like sticking in your head that you're like, oh, maybe I should do that. Maybe you should listen to that. And then also what kind of things are holding you back? Like you need to look at, the vices, the chains that bind, the powers that be, and the chains you bind with and the powers you have. So it's one of those months that's going to be a little analytical, and then it's going to be a lot of hurry up and wait. But really, you're just building more progress to have in a more abundant fall. So, yeah, that's all I have for you today, Scorpio. Please subscribe. You can feel free to subscribe to me. Check out who I subscribe to. You can follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/Cosmic Beach Consulting. Check out my website, cosmicbeachconsulting.com, and you can book an appointment with me. I'm available for FaceTime, Skype, email, text, and in-person readings in Northern California. So, have a great July, and I'll see you in August.